the loser does one thing extremely well. The loser's kind of like an organism. It attaches themselves to a host, and they feed off of their every single move, every single win that they have, every single achievement that they succeed in, and they don't take breaks. And the loser sticks there, they stay there. They spend all of their time wondering, why do winners win? Rather than thinking about, why do I keep losing? But yet they're still too lazy to do anything about it. And at the same time, hating these winners, absolutely hating them for everything they do.
So let's see who's won. In fourth place is me.
I don't know why you're shaking your head at me.
You won, Jane.
Oh my God.
Enjoy the money. I hope it makes you very happy.
God.
Dear Lord, what a sad little life, Jane. You ruined my night completely so you could have the money, but I hope now you spend it on getting some lessons in grace and decorum, because you have all the grace of a reversing dump truck without any tyres on.
I don't get it.
Well, you wouldn't, let's be honest. There's nobody in there, love. So, Jane, take your money and get off my property.
It's evidence of a few things. It's evidence, most of all, though, of insecurity. Dissatisfaction to their current way of living, to their lifestyle, to the things happening in their life. Their current situation determines everything about who they are and what they think. If you want to avoid this victim, this loser mentality, then you got to stop asking yourself, why is it not me? And rather, how can it be me? And when you respond to hate, you should do it out of complete love. I couldn't tell you how many hate comments I get every single day. But if I dare respond to them and give them any attention, I have to do it out of love. It's the most Christ-like thing I can do. I have to treat them as a friend and let them know, hey, I don't want what I say to become an argument, and I don't want to determine our relationship based off of one thing or a difference in opinion. But most of the time, you should avoid hate comments. You should avoid responding to hate comments, even when it's coming from family members. Don't delete them. Don't hide those comments. Let them be. For any amount of attention to them will only make them more angry and start devouring themselves deeper and deeper. You have to understand that they are victims to themselves. For if they wanted to make a change in their life, they would do it. They would do things differently. They complain all the time while they're at work. I wish I wasn't here today. I'm too tired. I hate my manager. I hate my coworkers. And when they go on YouTube and they're scrolling on the YouTube Shorts or on Instagram Reels or on TikTok, they leave hate comments on everybody that they see, just hoping for validation of some sort. If you respond to these people, you have to be extremely careful, lest you get dragged down and brought down to their same level. When you respond to those hate comments, you become alike unto them, of the same flesh, of the same breed, because that loser mentality is an infectious disease. It's sad to say, and I don't want to sound like I'm discriminating, but I don't want to make friends. I don't want to be friends with anybody who is negative, who complains all the time, who smokes, drinks, does anything like that, because it is anti-me. Respect is a two-way thing. I don't ever want to become alike unto that. Those habits, that persona of hate, or that loser persona, that jealousy persona, where they're always comparing themselves to the people on Instagram. Oh, I wish I could be like that, and then getting depressed and actually hurt about it. Being affected by something someone says or does is not a good thing. And yet their pride will carry them so far, they will think they're above you in every aspect of the way. And so it's a little painful. You have to be more humble in order to receive that well. That's not easy. I want you to think about bandwidth. What is bandwidth? Do you know what bandwidth is? I like to think of it like this. Every single one of us has bandwidth. It's the potential to become, but we only have so much bandwidth. So you'll find that a lot of people will spend their time consuming, whether that be alcohol, whether it be drugs, whether it be smoking, vaping. Doesn't matter. If you're consuming anything, including content, mindlessly, without a purpose, you are using your bandwidth, the life force that you have. You only have so much to give. So why would you give it all away to negative habits, things that are not helping you grow? You'll find that for anybody, if you are struggling with addiction, if you are struggling with poor habits, if you're struggling with this loser mindset, you'll find that putting those things aside, those habits, those behaviors, even the things that you say, swearing, things like that, your bandwidth will be consumed a lot less, and you will be able to take off in your business, in your work, in your life, in your relationships. It's kind of like subscribing to a bunch of subscriptions that you really can't afford, but doing it because you just want the pleasure of it. It's like you don't really have the money, but you just want to experience it, where you still need that money for other things, like maybe education, maybe growth. There's so many other things that you could use that money for. A clever investment such as a car, so you can get around and get a good job. I want to give you a 3-step never-do list real quick in continuation to all of these things, and I've written them all down here in this book. But number 1, you should never compare yourself. Never compare yourself to people on Instagram. Never compare yourself to anybody ever. You live a completely different life. You have different challenges, different struggles that you're going to have to overcome. Believe it or not, you are equal in that sense. So consuming content isn't necessarily a bad thing, right? And even though that does lead to what I would say a lot of comparison, a lot of jealousy, a lot of greed, a lot of different things like that. But the thing is, you can consume content with one of two minds: a positive mind, a mind of growth, a mind that wants to learn and become, or a mind that is mindless. Everything should be done with a purpose. There should be no reason why we ever do anything without an idea of what we really want. And number 2, you should never underestimate. A lot of people underestimate and then they get kicked in the teeth. See, when you underestimate, you are letting down your guard. You are putting down the defense of all progression. So that allows alternative forces, exterior forces. The people that you are underestimating will have more power over you because you are unprepared. And 3, this is the 3rd step of a loser mindset, right? That you need to avoid at all costs. Never complain about anything. Never complain about your current situation, most of all. That's the highlighting point. Anybody who complains about the current situation, like I mentioned earlier, your job, your relationships, the amount of time that you have, the amount of energy that you have. Oh, I'm tired. I don't care. You have a job to do. Get to work, right? So if you complain about those things, you lose leverage, you lose power, and you lose your capability to become more. Another thing that you're going to see, a lot of people like to hate on influencers. Like you'll see a lot of my videos are going to get a lot of hate. I think a lot of people in the self-improvement world get a lot of hate. And there's been times I've been bothered by it, but there's also most of the time I've not allowed it to affect me. I just don't allow things like that to affect me. But the thing is, you should never hate on a post like that because it shows you, it's evidence of something that you can become. It is evidence of someone starting from very little and becoming so much more. And I think that's a powerful insight that we can all take and learn from. If you are struggling with the motivation to become a winner, then don't. I can't help you. There's nothing I say or I can do that will help you. You've already placed your mental boundaries upon your mind. You've already placed these walls in your life. And honestly, I can't break those for you. There's nothing I can say or do. It's all up to you. Your life begins the second you get out of bed and decide, I'm going to do things different today. I'm going to try my best today. And when you fail the next day and you forget to follow up with those plans and those goals, you remind yourself, hey, what do I want to become? What is my purpose here on this earth? And the following day you get back to work and you fail and you get back to work and then you fail and then you get back to work and you fail and you fail and you fail and you fail and you forget about it for months and then you get back to work and eventually you become. You find yourself in a place of absolute gratitude and appreciation for the hardships, for the trials, for the things that you've put forth in your life. You can and you will become so much greater, but you just have to make the first move. Remember that in the game of chess, a pawn has equal opportunity to become whatever it wants. No other piece does. You can start from ground zero and become the greatest version of yourself, and you have absolute opportunity. But you have to get uncomfortable. You have to go into the enemy's territory. You have to. And if you don't, you will fall and you will fail and you'll be consumed by yourself for the rest of your life. And you'll never ever see even the slightest glimmer of hope. You'll never ever see the slightest glimmer of what you could have been. There are plenty more videos just like this video. I'd love for you guys to check it out. I've got videos about self-improvement journals and how you can utilize a journal to elevate your life in every aspect. Don't let this self-improvement train stop. And I'll see you guys in the next video.